Okay. All right. So fade roll. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Orange Blur. Welcome. I foamed. Okay. All right. Thing looks like it's working. Good. Hey, Eduardo. Getting some chili. Greetings from the Bay Area. Hey, Keeney. Hey, hey. Alright. Oh. Let's move this over here. Okay. Hey, Rhyperior. Welcome. Hey, Luxie, Extreme, Zanver. Alright. Hey, Kevin. Yep, OLED gang. Yeah, I saw that in your picture, dude. Nice. I'm assuming you also got the B version that I did. I have the B8. Hey, Magi. Hey, Hidden. Hey, Proto. Alright. So let's get this started, and I can tell you why I haven't been streaming for the last 6 weeks. All right, let's do it. Hey, Ed. Okay. I can't remember if this version you start from this or from the other thing. So let's just start the game. Sure. Okay. This is very official speedrun here. Okay. Hey, Alyssa. Hey, Gator. Yeah, YouTube takes a second. Okay. Traveler, stay and listen to a song. Yeah, everything else is working. Alright, so the short version of this story is I nearly died in early April. I did not, because clearly I'm here, but it appears that I got the good old coronavirus in late March, and it fucked me up real bad. Okay, alright, hold on. I gotta remember Howie Shenmue here. Alright, we're buying lighters. Forgot. Alright. Buying lighters.
Come on, take a look. You're good looking. I can give you a discount.
Oh, the C9, nice. Yeah, that's the one that I really want. Because it's got all the HDMI 2.1 stuff.
You're good looking. I can give you a discount.
Alright, we got a quality speedrun going here.
You have an eye for quality.
Okay, so the longer version of this story. The last time that I streamed before this one was
Here, thank you. Anything else?
March 24th or so.
Good looking.
And that was part 2 of Half-Life Alyx, which I still got to beat that game. that's still on the to-do list, but I am not quite up to playing
Want to buy another?
something as strenuous as that right now. So
An eye for quality.
it's currently May 10th.
Yeah.
And this all started March, let's say 23rd, 24th. So I was streaming Half-Life Alyx, and then all of a sudden, like, I think it was an hour and a half into playing it, I just got the biggest fucking headache. So I just had to cut stream and call it right there. Because I thought that, oh man, playing this VR game sure is giving me a real bad headache. And then the day before that, my feet fell asleep. They got real numb. About halfway through the first segment of Half-Life Alyx, and I just figured, oh man, I'm just really out of shape, I guess. Like my circulation must not be very good in my feet while playing Half-Life Alyx.
Anything else?
So I didn't really think much of it. I thought, oh, I just haven't been on my feet a whole lot.
You have good taste.
So I didn't get feeling back in my feet for about 4 days after that.
Thanks.
So that should have been along with the headaches and like this. I was also at a coughing fit at the beginning of that stream too. That should have been a red flag for me, but I did not notice at the
I
time.
can give you a discount, handsome.
It's turned up all the way? It is.
Good looking boys know what real quality is.
So at that point, I just figured out playing this VR stuff really must have tired me out.
That was a good one.
Not a big deal. So I think I said at the time, I'm probably just going to take a day off and
You have good
and
taste.
see how things are going from there.
Yeah.
And then the day after that, I woke up with a headache, I think, is what happened at that point.
Anything else?
And there wasn't too much else
You
unusual
have an eye for
at that
quality.
point. Unfortunately, I don't own a thermometer, and I don't have a way to check my blood pressure. Because usually whenever I'm feeling like I have a fever or something, I usually don't have one. So I've always just discounted
Good looking boys know what real quality is.
feelings of being hot or flushed as just, oh, that's just something to do with my blood pressure maybe. It's like no big deal.
Thank you.
Because that's usually what it is.
Goodbye.
Like I think, oh man, I'm running a huge fever. I can feel my forehead is hot, like it is right now.
You have good taste.
I can't afford this game.
No, thank you.
So yeah, at that point, I was thinking like, oh man, I just got too hot and bothered playing this VR stuff. No big deal. I'll just take a rest. And then let's see. I think it was. Why is this like this? Wait, did I not buy a map? Okay. All right, we got a quality speed run here. We got a link to the wrong. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, YouTube. Oh fuck. YouTube changed their Wait, why am I buying capsule toys?
A capsule toy.
YouTube changed their streaming stuff again.
I won't.
Since I last streamed. So I'm gonna have to fix that at some point. The link that I put in my Twitter and is in the
this area
in the stream announcement thing
It'll be
should be
useful.
for the correct stream. YouTube stream thing. Okay, so yeah. Flash forward to about 3 days after I streamed. And I was still thinking, like, it's not a big deal. I don't have any of the other weird symptoms that have been reported by people. I'll just wait this out. And then at that point, I woke up and I could tell right away when I had some water that something was wrong. At that point, I was like, "Oh, my water tastes a little weird. Did I not fill it up with fresh water before I went to bed?" So I get into the bathroom and I have these multivitamin things that are like they're gummy flavored. They're like multivitamin fruit flavored things with this sweet sugar coating on them. And typically they're super sweet, but when I had them that morning, they just tasted like I was chewing rubber. And that's also when I thought like this is unusual. So then I got up and I had poured myself a drink of this my caffeine / black cherry flavored thing that I have for as my soda substitute, and I had some of that, and it just tasted like water. And that's when I was thinking, oh fuck, this is that diminished taste and smell thing, because I also couldn't smell anything at that point either. And what it was replaced with, it wasn't like it was completely gone. It's like there was this musty ass, like rotten hospital smell is how I would describe it. instead of my regular smell and taste. So at this point, I could only taste and smell the things that I was eating and smelling at like 20% maybe of the normal rate. And at that point, I figured, okay, I should probably tell my doctor about this. So I called up my doctor, and I obviously I couldn't get through to my doctor because he got to talk to the assistants there first to make an appointment. I said, okay, here's what I've been going through. I had headaches, feels like I had a fever, lost my sense of taste and smell. And he said, okay, the doctor can see you in about a week.
You still look.
So I said, okay, that's fine. This is
you again.
You got your bag back. Hey.
like okay, a week will work. This is nothing too alarming at this point. And then the day after that, I completely lost taste and smell at that point. So even less than before. It was just nothing but this stank, I guess, is how I would describe it in my nose. And then also along with that point, I had also completely lost my appetite. Like I just wasn't hungry at all. So I had forced myself at that point to eat because I knew, like, hey, I haven't eaten anything all day. I should probably have some food, even though my body is telling me, like, no, man, you're good. Like, clearly I was not.
Yeah. Hey, I should make some money.
So then the day after that, I was woken up.
I'll look at the South Korean.
Like, I normally go to bed at 6 a.m. or so. And I was completely jolted awake. Hold on, I'll tell you this after we do this sick skip here. Oh, not that one. I actually tested this the other day to make sure this still worked. Nope.
Excuse me.
No, talk to that guy. No.
All right.
I am determined to not do the sign anymore.
Excuse me.
All right, there we go. Okay.
Cold?
So, at this point, so on that day, I was jolted awake. And what had happened at that point was, my forearm, my right forearm, it felt like I had...
Welcome. Come on in.
We got another.
Hello. Welcome.
Can I ask you for directions?
Excuse me for asking, but you're Japanese, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's great. I am too. I came here to open this shop. Anything new in Japan?
Yes.
That's good.
That's good.
Everything changes so fast these days. If you ever need any help, come see me.
Thank you.
So yeah, I was jolted awake 2 hours after I had gone to bed by this, like, huge pounding sensation in my forearm. Like, it felt like somebody was taking a hammer to my arm. Do I not have a map here? Oh.
The South Korean quarter is ahead.
Aren't you supposed to be able to do spooky? Oh, that's right. You do it with the... Okay. Yeah, you have to do it with the board thing. So anyways, yeah, I was jolted awake by this pounding sensation in my forearm. And then I got up because I thought, oh man, this is not great. And then
This is the Yanten apartment.
it felt like after I got up, like there was a wet washcloth just draped across my sternum, because it was freezing cold. And then I called up my dad to tell him, like, hey, something's really fucking wrong here. And then while I was calling him, I just started shaking uncontrollably. Like I was like, had the cartoon character thing of my teeth were chattering together. like hard enough that that I thought I was going to chip a tooth. Like that's how hard it was doing that.
Do you know where?
I don't.
Okay, which one is
So,
this?
I'm
This one's
hungry.
back again.
Huh?
You sure?
Oh.
Right now, I.
Oh no,
I
wrong one.
understand.
Shit.
All right.
So yeah, I'm talking to my dad, like trying to hold my phone. I'm holding my phone like this, because like that's how bad I'm shaking. Alright, we gotta talk to this guy. I chose the wrong option. And at that point,
What is it?
so I was currently just wearing a sweatshirt.
Understand.
You're
Alright,
a
it's safe
Man,
here.
most, I understand.
This is how long it's been since I've done
very
this.
much.
Man.
So at that point, I'm just shaking uncontrollably. It's like 9 in the morning. I had gotten practically no sleep at that point, and it's not like I was sleeping any better the days before that either. So I put on 2 pairs of sweatpants. I put on 2 t-shirts, 2 sweatshirts, furry moccasins at that point. And then I got into bed. The bed has a sheet, it has a comforter, and it has another fuzzy blanket on it. And I was still shivering in bed, with all of that on. Hey, LCC. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is getting a lot more serious. At that point, I should have gone to the ER, but I didn't. Because at that point, my reasoning for what am I doing here? I'm going to this guy. The reasoning at that point was I kept hearing like, okay, just don't go to the ER unless you're an old person. That was the gist of what I got from everything I'd heard about ERs at the time. And apparently a lot of people got that same idea because the local hospitals actually had to put out a PSA like a week or so later telling people like, no, we are not overrun. If you feel at all like you got something going on, then come in. Like that one. Because it wasn't just me who had that impression. So let's see. So that was that morning that I was just uncontrollably shaking in my bed trying to write it out. And then about an hour or two after that, it might have been during that same morning, it felt like there was liquid. There was some sort of like, you know those
hills is ahead.
You know those lemonade machines, I guess, at stores, like the kind of boxy ones that it shoots the liquid up to the top of the thing and then it dribbles down the sides of the plastic thing. It felt like that,
Scarlet Hills,
but in each of my lungs. And that was probably one of the most alarming things that happened. 'Cause it felt like that, and I could feel it kind of dripping down. And it's not like it's a good sensation either, because it felt like ice cold water. Like the coldest thing I had ever, like cold enough that it burnt. And at that point I was upright in bed, and so at that point I just laid down. I laid down, I pulled the covers up, and I just wrote it out. And at that point I also had to avoid laying on my side. Usually I'm a side sleeper. But during all of this, every time I shifted my body, I could feel the liquid, the fluid, in my chest. Like if I turned like this, I could feel the liquid shifting and kind of dribbling down and settling down, to follow gravity downwards in my chest, and I could feel it separately in the left and the right side. So I was like, oh shit, it's in both lungs at that point. Okay, we're going this way. So that was day 1 of that. Day 2, I still had it in geez, I think it was the right lung still had a bunch of it, and I could feel that there's less of it in the left. So I could feel like, okay, this is getting better, I guess, after a day. That's a good thing. And then all during this,
Excuse
What?
ever since the day before, at that
What
point,
kind of
He's a
Hen Hui?
I was extremely tired. I had trouble even just getting out of bed, and shuffling to the bathroom, which is like 10 feet away.
Zan Yu Barber's shop. This must be Zan Yu's
And
shop.
all of this while trying to breathe. It felt like there was somebody just pressing down on my chest for the whole time.
The voodoo
Like it was markedly more difficult to mechanically breathe at that point. I didn't have any like blue lips or blue fingertips or anything. So I was getting oxygen in my blood, but the actual act of breathing was,
for example,
much more difficult than it usually was.
or sitting at the barber.
So let's see. That was day 2 of pneumonia.
No matter what happens.
So all while this was happening, my plan of action was just, hey, stay calm. I had was trying to breathe as shallow as I could and keep my heart rate down.
The razor's
Because that was
most
another
sharp.
thing, was I'd be just laying down and then my heart would just start going boom, 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 boom,
Be brave
and
stay calm
beating
to make the right
beating really strongly and faster than it should be
That is where
for
the wound
me just laying in
done.
bed. So also at this point,
Done.
the most strenuous thing that I do in a day at that
Stay
point
calm
would
in
be
order to
to
judge
either
correctly.
get up to go to the bathroom or get up and have a pre-made shake
of martial arts.
Soylent. Soylent is pretty much what I lived off of for like 2 weeks, because obviously I couldn't even set foot outside the house because the lockdown restrictions and self-quarantine and all that. And couldn't really have stuff delivered either. But luckily I had a whole shitload of Soylent left over. So I just made that for nearly all of my meals for weeks. So what I do for that, even when I was super weak, I just make a full day's worth of them in 5 minutes. Just in the blender. So that shit probably saved my life, having that stuff on hand. So let's see. So then, along with the pneumonia, what am I doing at this point? Going over here. Let's see. So, right around when I got the pneumonia is also when the cough started getting worse. Luckily, I'm not coughing right now. I actually still have the cough, but it comes and goes. And it's like a dry cough. Also, during all of this, like the back of my throat would be super sore and like super dry, which I thought was weird. Like I didn't have any congestion or anything. Like no runny nose or anything, which my doctor thought that was unusual, that I'd be having all this but not having a runny nose or anything.
Like this?
So let's see what happened after. So then,
Good.
so all of that happened on like, I think on the Monday of that week, and the
Like this?
the shakes and the chills and all of that kind of went away by Wednesday or so, is when the stuff in my lungs felt to have cleared up.
Yes.
And then after the ice cold liquid in my lung sensation went away, it left this pain in my kind of like a little bit to the left of my sternum, in my chest, which is kind of where the heart is. And that persisted for
This is it.
a while, for days and days and days, where I just had this throbbing pain in my the left side of my chest. let's see. What else? There's also something else that happened during that time.
I understand.
There's weakness. Concern for long-term damage. We'll get to that.
Yes, this is good.
We'll get to that. We're in early April at this point still. So, so all that kind of resolved most of itself in the beginning of the week, and then my doctor appointment was on Friday that week. So I just kind of stuck it out, just spending most of my time laying in bed
Much better.
at that point. Like, out of 24 hours in the day, I would spend about 23 of my hours in the day just flat on my back in bed. But that is how I spent a few weeks in April doing that. So I would get up like a few minutes at a time to like flap my arms and legs so that I'd get a little bit of blood flowing, but there wasn't a whole hell of a lot I could do. So then I had my doctor appointment on Friday, which was a video appointment. I had to hook up a webcam to my my main computer and hook up my USB headset and all that, and do a video conference with my doctor.
Genman,
What's
What's the matter, young man?
do you know Guang?
So I'm telling him about like, well, he starts off the appointment with like, oh, so you lost your sense of taste and smell, huh? And I had some headaches. All right, well that could be this microplasma thing. And then I told him like, hey, I'm pretty sure I had pneumonia the day after I made this appointment. And he's like, oh no, you should have told me about that. But it's not like I have a direct line to him anyways. I got to talk to his assistants all the time. So how I could have told him about that, I have no idea.
Please tell me.
to me? You're up, but
So
Why is
I have.
at that point, I was feeling a little bit better. Like I obviously didn't have the chill sensation in my lungs or chest. Well, I had it in my chest. Like there was the ice cold lungs with fluid in them sensation in early April, and then after that it was like, the way I would describe it is you get out of a cold shower into a cold room or a cold pool, whatever. You dry off everything but the center of your chest and your sternum, and that you left exposed to the cold air. That was the feeling that I had in my chest from pretty much April 1st until, geez, almost May. Like I had pretty much a full month of this this chilly chest sensation that accompanied with this my heart pounding harder than it really should have at that point, which continues to alarm me. All right, so this is the A button, I think. Still got it, baby. Okay. So yeah, I'm talking to the doctor and he says, yeah, that is bad. We should do something about that. So I told him, like, he said, okay, there's this treatment center about 5 to 10 minutes away from me that treats like non-critical patients for coronavirus stuff.
I'm not used.
And he said, yeah, I should go there and get my chest checked out and do some tests and all that. So then he said, okay, I'll call you back in 10 minutes or so, and I'll give you directions to this place that you can go there and go get this taken care of. So then 10 minutes passes. I'm just sitting at my desk, and then I get a call on my phone. And it's an assistant at the doctor's office, and she says, okay, hey, this is your doctor's office. We called an ambulance. They're gonna be there in 60 seconds. Just go out there and they'll take you to the ER. And I'm like, what? Hold on. in no way did I make it clear that I needed an ambulance or to go to the ER at this point. So what had happened was the treatment center over at the place he was gonna send me got the idea from my doctor talking to them that I was like in dire straits, which I was earlier in the week. Like it got bad enough that I wrote a will. You guys, that's how fucking bad it was in early April. Which, boy, is that a great thing to do for your fucking psyche. But anyways, back to ambulance day. What am I doing here? I'm going to over here. Wait, what am I doing here? Am I talking to this guy?
This is Sunny Capital Pharmacy.
I'm trying to remember the route here, while also recounting this fucking harrowing experience.
I'm looking.
I
heard that.
did you?
Yes. Can you
Have you?
Yes. Do you have any?
It's.
I've already been.
I see.
I see.
Do you have any?
There is a
Guishan? Who?
her to see, but Reese.
Where is?
She go turn.
I understand.
Okay. All right. I remembered how to Shenmue. Okay, so yeah, at that point, I had hung up the call from the doctor's office because somebody at the treatment center actually called the ambulance on me. So I got fucking indirectly swatted by some random medical assistant at this treatment center who thought I was like dying on the floor or something after talking to my doctor. And just like she said, 60 seconds later, there was a fire truck and an ambulance outside my door. So I had to, at that point, I didn't have a mask or anything, or any sort of face protection. So I took a bunch of tissues and a towel and just kind of held it up like this as I'm going down the stairs to try and talk down the firemen and the ambulance out in front of my house. And also on top of all this, I was still feeling like shit. So just trying to drag myself over to outside to deal with this this sudden raucous like circus going on in front of my fucking house. So then, luckily they gave me a mask, which I still have over there. I'm using it every day. They gave me a mask to use to talk to them, and I pretty much had to say like, hey, I didn't ask for this ambulance. I am good to take myself to the ER. Thanks. And then luckily they were like, okay, that's fine. As long as you make it to the ER, then we're all good. Hey, boys. So then I go to the ER. All right. I looked up how to do this skip again too. We're not going to be moving crates today. All right. So you go down here, you turn around.
Yo,
Joy.
what are you doing out here?
I want to ask you something.
What is it?
Where is Manmo Temple?
That would be in Scarlet Hills, at the end of the Wise Men's Quarter.
Scarlet Hills, at the end of the Wise Man's Quarter.
Yeah, it'd be easier to find the Wise Men's Quarter first. People there all know about it. It's known as a pretty tourist spot.
All right, I got it.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so then I drive myself to the ER. I didn't know you could talk to her at both occasions. Okay, where am I even going? I think I'm going up to the temple. Okay. I could have just taken the ambulance if I want to go to the ER. I don't think you know how much an ambulance costs in America. It's a bit more expensive than taking an Uber. Like I have very good insurance, and it would still have been thousands of dollars. Yes, thousands. Yeah, about $3,000 probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. Even with insurance, even with good insurance, for a, let's say 10-minute ambulance ride. So that's why I was insisting that even if I was fucking dying, which at that point I wasn't, I was earlier in the week, but at that point, like I was probably not in good enough condition to drive myself, but I did it anyways. Cause I wasn't gonna take a fucking ambulance. So yeah, I get to the hospital, and I'd never been to the hospital in my area before, and man, it's a really nice hospital. Do I have? Because I live in the Monterey area, so I went to the rich people hospital in Monterey. Let's see. Can I just go through here? Do this? Oh shit, that's right. I gotta do the other
Sorry,
thing.
visitors are not allowed right now.
So the thing is for the ER there usually.
Master Mo.
Yeah, Chomp. Chomp is where I went.
Oh, Master Mo is in the back.
So usually the ER is like you go through some doors, you go into the interior place,
No, we're
and
cleaning the
they
temple
screen
now.
you there for like, okay, what's wrong with you?
So
What's broken this
visitors are not
time?
allowed.
But now
I'm sorry,
with
but
the
you have
pandemic
to
going on, they have a separate.
Please.
Even if
I'm in a hurry.
not,
I need to see.
you're being very.
All right. Oh, okay, this works too. I was gonna go do the map glitch, but this works. Hey, Chops.
Excuse me.
So yeah, they have a secondary temporary entrance for the ER now. Oh, nice! You're going to be doing rotations there. Nice. All right. We have
Excuse
this
me.
important thing first.
What? You can't be here during this hour.
I'm here to see Master Mo.
Huh? If you're here to pray, come back later.
Please, I need to ask something.
Well, then you should give service first.
Service?
Service?
Yes. How about cleaning away the soot here?
Sure. All right. So yeah, my doctor called ahead at that point, or some doctor did. Whoever called that fucking ambulance on me called the hospital ahead of time, so I didn't have to fill out all of my info or anything. So what they have for the respiratory
to do the right thing.
illness patients, or people, anybody with a fever, a cough, or anything at all related to coronavirus, even a little bit, they send you off to the tent. They have 2 tents set up in the ambulance parking right next to the ER. They're big enough to hold, like, let's say 10 people at once. One of the tents is for doing diagnostic tests, which they send you in first. You have to lay down on a cot, and they hook up these, they put these electrical conductive stickers on you and hook you up to an, was it ECG? EKG? One of those things? It measures the heart response stuff. They do that first in one of the tents, and then they send you off to the other tent right next to it, which has which has a bunch of like booths set up, essentially is what it is. So it's just like, it's a chair, a little pedestal thing with just a flat surface on it, and then half of a folding screen with your number and your chart on it. And then that's where you spend the majority of your time there in the ER, if you're lucky. If you're lucky.
Excuse me.
Hello?
Is this for pawning? Alright.
That won't fit.
Yeah, concentrate here for a second.
Really? Is there any...
Before we continue the epic hospital story here.
That Yes. Really? Is there any...
Was I lucky? In short, yes.
That Yes. Really? Is there any...
Well, I had both, Ed. We'll get to that. I actually had an EKG and an ECG.
Yes. Really? Is there any...
But the EKG was the one where you hooked up to wires at
That one... Yes. Really? Is there any...
in the tent.
I'd better
Nothing
accounts.
the store.
All right, yeah. So they hook you up. They look at your heart, which, from what I'm to understand,
Excuse me.
the readings for that looked fine
Yes.
for me, which is good.
Please have this pen.
It's a flyer.
It is our flyer. The buying rates are listed on it. And what will you be selling? I want...
All right, so we should be at 656 after I sell all this stuff, or something like that. I think it's 656.
Yes.
I
We sell the
understand.
dolphins and then sell all of our... I'm not...
So you want...
Okay, this looks more correct.
Thank you. Is there...
Yeah, okay,
No.
I said
that
if
looks...
you like...
Sure. Okay, so... you sit down in the second tent, at your stall that you're assigned, and then you have a nurse come and they take your temperature. They also did that at the front desk. They take your temperature and your blood pressure at the front desk before you go to either tent. And then you describe your symptoms, which at that point, all the really bad shit had already happened at that point. So I was already kind of recovering when I was sent to the hospital the first time. So let's see what else happened. So because I was still having the pain in my
Please
chest,
get started.
Yes.
they took an X-ray
Carry
of my
each vial
lungs.
and place it on a stand outside.
So when I went there the first time, all they did was they took a
You
front
just carry them out.
chest
Your
X-ray,
service to the temple will last until noon. If you carry
which
them all out,
which from what I heard, from what they looked at, that they said they saw a little bit of
they
pneumonia,
are
but not
precious
much.
books, so don't drop them.
Don't drop them.
Let's get to work.
Might as well.
So they prescribed me a Z-Pack, which is just a standard antibiotic thing. So I took that for the amount of time I was supposed to take it. Because always do that with antibiotics, otherwise they don't work properly. Let's see. And then also when I was there, they gave me 2 tests for flu-like stuff. So the first test was for the just basic bitch flu, which was just a swab about that long with the cotton ends of it. and that one was in the back of the throat. So they just kind of jam it in your mouth, swirl it around a little bit, and then that's how they get the sample for the flu test. And then came the
next pile.
The coronavirus test. So for that one, the swab for that is also like that long. It's about as long as your hand. From your wrist to the end of your fingers is about how big the swab is for that fucking thing. They jam it all the way up your nose, all the way back to your sinus, like all the way back. And then they swirl it around for a good, let's say 10 seconds. It was a fucking eternity is what it felt like for me. And on top of this, it is allergy season, and I have allergies. So I had very sensitive, inflamed sinuses at that point, and it was like them sticking a burning poker through my fucking nose.
That's the way to go.
And just jamming it in there for 10 seconds. Yeah, I cried the instant it hit my sinus. Like there were tears just streaming down my fucking face the whole time. And then at that point, the protocol for doing it at the ER on that day was, this was kind of early in the whole pandemic process thing. There was this plexiglass barrier thing that the patient has to hold up, and there's 2 holes cut in it for the nurse to stick her hands through there to administer the test, so that there'd be this physical barrier between the patient and the nurse, in addition to all the other stuff that they do. Why didn't they just take a blood sample? Because you can't test for active infections with the blood sample.
It's a book.
The blood test is an antibody test, which we will get to that later on too. So yeah, so all during this, I am holding this plexiglass barrier like this. My head is all the way back. I am growling because this hurts so fucking bad. There's tears streaming down my face. So after she's done rubbing this fucking thing up against my very sensitive sinuses, she said, "Okay, it's finished." And then she pulls it out of my nose, and when she was doing it, I went like that. I jolted a little bit because it hurt so bad. She fucking drops the sample onto the floor, and we both kind of look at each other, and she said, "Oh, dang, we gotta do it again." So like, oh fuck, no fucking way. So I had to, at that point. All right, hold on. I gotta do the setup for this. So the test, the test swabs your. Look at that, first try. So the test swabs for your mucus for signs of the virus is what the nasal test is. And continue.
No.
Whoop.
The timing for
I didn't even know the trigger did that. Okay. So yeah, so at that point, we just got through this fucking horrifying nasal swab thing. And then she drops it, and we have to do it again.
Now you know how.
So so we did the test again, and luckily everything went fine. It was no more fun the second time through than it was the first time.
2 more leaves.
Oh shit. So then that was pretty much the end of that hospital visit.
I did it.
Like I got my
If I can catch just
I got my
more.
prescription for the antibiotics, and then they just sent me home. Because kind of the protocol is for stuff like that.
I got it.
If you don't need to be on any sort of like assisted breathing or anything, then they just send your ass home. Which, hey, I'm okay with that because that's a much lower bill than being admitted. And because my blood oxygen level was good enough, I didn't have any need for any oxygen or anything else like that at that point. What am I? I can't even remember what. Oh, that's trying to remember what the hell do I even do at this point in the run. So let's see. They sent me home. I went and I had the antibiotics and I took those. And after a day of taking the antibiotics, my chest actually felt quite a bit better. I still had the really cold chest sensation, and that persisted for weeks past that point. But I no longer had like the really bad throbbing sensation in my chest.
Come on in. Do you know what this is?
A Chawan sign. Oh, we didn't get the quick.
Chawans?
Yes.
Oh my god. Green shirt guy is screwing this up.
You mean...
Yes. If you...
I understand.
See, this is why you don't want green shirt guy in the store during all this. So yeah, things were still better at that point, but not quite. So another thing that so I didn't mention at this point with my appetite. So let's see, in right around when my when I lost my sense of taste and smell, which would have been, geez, that was March 31st, I think, is when that happened. I didn't have much of an appetite at all. Like, I had to kind of force myself to eat, because I knew, like, hey, even though my body's not telling me that I'm hungry, I haven't eaten in forever. I should eat something.
These are the Yanten apartments.
So I forced myself to eat, and then whenever the pneumonia sensation was a few days after that, I just felt just absolutely starving constantly.
Start moving the left.
Like, I would eat a full meal, and then half an hour later, my stomach would be like, yo, man,
Move it to the bottom. And
I
then
am
you
starving. Feed me again. And that lasted for,
It's quite late now.
shit, that was...
Rest of the Dayuan apartments.
My metabolism on like 1000% lasted for like 3 or 4 days, I think. It lasted past the, wait, I thought there was... Oh yeah, that's right. You can just, let's do this. Tacos on speed dial, yep. But no, so at this point, I couldn't like go out. I couldn't, I can't quite remember how to do this skip, by the way. I think I can do this. I actually don't remember. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Okay.
Master Tal will not be pleased if you leave now.
I actually can't remember how to do this.
Where are you going?
Oh, no. Is this our life
not done
until...
yet.
Oh, fuck.
Master Tal will not be pleased.
Okay,
if you leave
we'll
now.
eventually get there. I just gotta hold down the run button. We'll eventually get back to...
Wait.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, that was the whole thing with that. So pretty much
Where are you
until...
going?
This is fine. This will resolve itself. Yeah, I have to run back to the invisible barrier here, because I forgot how to do this this skip.
If you don't do the task, I'll get into trouble too.
So from let's say March 27th until, geez, maybe mid-April, I didn't leave my apartment at all. Like, didn't set foot outside of it. I was on complete self-quarantine. Couldn't really do much of anything. So I had to survive off of everything that I had in here. And I was actually so weak at that point, I couldn't leave anyways. Like, it was pretty bad. So yeah, and I think I ordered delivery once, and of course the fucking delivery guy couldn't find my place, so I had to go outside and wave him down, and be like, hey man, just leave my stuff over there, I'll get it. Don't come near me. I had to make it very clear without saying, hey, I'm infected, to the guy, and luckily he was happily enough to just leave it there and then get the fuck out of there. Okay, so where are we at this point? This was after the first ER visit in
the next pile.
Early April. So let's see. So after all of that, that was kind of the worst of things, I want to say. Kind of the worst of things. But it still wasn't great. Hippo Flames. I'll say, hey, welcome to people that I didn't say hi to during my story time here. I apologize. It's good to see all of you. So what am I doing here? Okay, we're doing duck percent stuff. I actually found it from yesterday. Whoops. So at that point, I still had headaches. I was still running a fever. So I had a fever of at least 100 Fahrenheit from, let's say, March 24th until probably about a week ago. I was running 100 Fahrenheit plus. Like, at minimum, it was 100 for over a month. So, boy, was that fun. And let's see. So after the whole hospital episode is when the weakness started. It's Toro. So I could barely get out of bed at that point because I was just so exhausted. Like just putting one foot in front of the other was way more difficult than it really should have been. At that point. So even if I could go out and wanted to go out, like, there's I could barely make it down the staircase. Like, I would once I was well enough and cleared by my doctor to leave the apartment and not be on self-quarantine, like, I would go out and go get the mail. So the mailbox is like a 30-second walk from my place. It's like 40 feet away. I would walk that 30 seconds and I would be panting and out of breath after that short fucking walk, which, even though, yeah, I'm not in the greatest shape, never had been, but oh man, like, it was like I just ran a whole bunch up a hill. Was how bad my panting and, like, breathlessness was. And that was pretty alarming. Like, I should not be this out of breath, just going to walk 30 seconds away. And that persisted for, like, God, it was like 2 weeks where I could barely walk anywhere. Like, even just getting out of bed, coming over to my desk here, sitting down and checking Twitter and all that, and making breakfast. Even that had me breathing hard and my heart racing. So yeah, that was no fun. And it was also like having a cold sweat at the same time. And about a week into that, I started having my face to be flushed. Like at the worst of it. All right, hold on.
Do you have... I see.
That's kung.
What do you think?
What do you think?
You're interested.
I've never seen.
Do you...
A little.
That's
Perfect.
You want a...
A match?
Yes, it's easy.
No,
Why?
I didn't mean. I can't write.
Is that...
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. I guess I was too excited.
Sam.
On second...
Oh,
I'm Eileen.
my name is.
Pleased to meet...
At any rate.
Thank you. Oh, but...
Huh?
It's P...
Peak was up.
That's...
Aw.
Yes.
Sierra...
Yeah.
All right. Good talk with Eileen A device. So yeah, my face would start getting red, like I had a sunburn, is what my face looked like. Like at the worst of it, I looked like the 1950s Coke Santa. Like my face was fucking red, like beet red, and it's and it even if I was like moving around or just laying in bed, it would just be like that all the time. And that was very weird to have that going on too. Let's see what else. So my appetite had gotten back to normal at that point as well. Yeah, that exhaustion was pretty alarming. So let's see. So this would have been mid-April, mid to late April at that point. So I was still having these weird episodes with my heart pounding, and then my it would be nearly every day where I would be just laying down, not doing much, and then I would have this just enormous pounding sensation. It would kind of alternate. Like one day it would be right here in my right arm. Some days it would be in my left. Just this like boom, 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 heart pounding sensation in my arms. It's the same sensation I had that first day when I had the real bad pneumonia. And then I was like, it was late April.
This is.
Hey, Megaton.
This might be useful.
This might be useful. So I continued to have that sensation, and there was one day where that happened, where I had the pounding in both wrists. Fully recovered now. We'll get to that. One morning in late April, I had the pounding sensation in both wrists, in my shoulder, my upper left arm, and in my chest. And I am barely able to... at that point, I was barely able to get out of bed. I could barely stand on both feet. And my thought was, oh fuck, I'm having a heart attack. Or there's some sort of blood clot, something fucked up was happening in my body at that point. So I was like, all right, I gotta go to the hospital right now. So I got up. Luckily, my sister lives right next door, and I was able to get her to take me to the ER. That night, or that morning. This was on a Sunday morning entry.
Okay. It's $20 to participate.
Sunday morning. So, oh, also, before we elaborate on that whole episode, my doctor, I had another video consult with my doctor the week prior to that, or the Thursday prior to that, and he wanted me to get a heart echo done, which is getting an ultrasound of your heart to make sure that there's nothing structurally wrong with it. 2 more chest x-rays to make sure that there still wasn't anything weird going on with my chest, because I was still having mechanical difficulty breathing and still had a cough at that point, like weeks and weeks and weeks after the pneumonia and everything else had already passed. So he's like, yeah, we need to do all these tests, and also blood tests and urine samples at that point. And as it turns out,
Good for you.
it is really difficult to get any sort of diagnostic testing done if you're not in hospital nowadays, because all of the smaller places are closed. And the places that will actually see you and are open
Or are you participating?
aren't taking people with coughs or fevers. And I had a cough and a fever at that point.
$20 to participate.
All right.
You work at the tomato convenience store.
Your next match is against me. If you can beat me, I'll take you to a special place.
Oh.
If you can beat me, here we go.
All right. Gotta concentrate. That's. Why is it okay? Sure.
Are you all right?
I'm a bit upset. I tried my best, but I lost. I'll take you to that special place, I promise. Come see me at Tomato Convenience Store.
Tomato convenience store. All right.
Good for you. Here's a silver medal for your prize. Take it.
Come again.
Come again.
All right. Okay. So yeah, so on that Thursday, I went in to do as many as the tests I could. So there's luckily a lab that was open that I was able to do the blood tests for and the urine tests. All right, we'll get to that after this.
By the way, you mentioned someplace interesting the other day.
Oh, that's right. Do you want to go now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go.
The red one at number 3. B for stamina. C for guts. Strong in the home stretch. The third most popular duck.
What's this?
The duck race. Do you want to try?
Where's that fucking cough again?
Hi, do you want to play?
I do want to play.
The white one at number 1. B for speed. B for stamina. D for guts. Strong in the home stretch. The black one at number 2. B for speed. D for stamina.
Oh yeah, the duck racing marathon thing.
Strong in the home stretch.
You know what I had to do for that?
The red one at number 3.
I had to,
C for
I recorded
C for guts.
a bunch of duck races. I spent like 5 hours recording duck races.
A for stamina. C for guts.
And then put all the results of each numbered race into a
Number 5.
thing, and then had it pull up a video file and stream it
For guts. Good at getting a head start.
of each of those races.
Green one at number 6. B for speed. C for stamina. C for guts. Strong in the home stretch.
All right, always bet on black.
Then place your bet and pick your favorite duck. Okay, time to start.
All right, good so far. All right. We were not blessed with the barrel-less course here. Yeah, that was Hai Kawaii Marathon 2015, I want to say. Yep. Blue Duck wins. Never lucky. Never gonna get those 20 bucks back. Still top 3. We're on the podium.
You missed.
That wasn't too bad, eh? Another try?
No, I guess not.
All right, come again.
See you later.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then at this point, we're catching a duck. Catching a duck. Okay. So let's see. So yeah, the blood draw. Save here for infinite racing. No, you can't. You don't have access to the menu in the duck race area. And if you're going to make a duck race bot or something, you would use something like Cheat Engine to cheat engine yourself infinite money or whatever, and then just have that do the racing stuff. Okay, so yeah, I have my blood drawn at the local lab, where they put in this spike thing into your near your elbow, and then just press a bunch of vials into it to draw your blood. And then the person doing my blood draw gave me this big red thing with a like screw cap on it at like a 45-degree angle. And she's like, okay, you're gonna need to pee in this thing for 24 hours. I'm like, what? Okay, I'm not just peeing into a cup over here. Like, nope, you need to. All of your pee for 24 hours is gonna have to go into this thing, except for the first pee of the day after you wake up. So, boy, was that fun. It could be worse though. I have had to do a stool sample before, and that is way worse. So it wasn't that bad having to pee into this jug and be Howard Hughes for a day. And the reason they do that, by the way, is to count your creatinine or something. So they take like, okay, there's 2,000 milliliters of sample, and then it's got this much creatinine in it.
I don't have a choice.
And they use that to calculate something.
No.
So that's the point of doing the 24-hour collection. It's not just for shits and giggles. there actually is a reason they need to do that.
I did it.
All right, we got ourselves a deck. Okay. All right, now we can do the main story here a little bit. Okay. And then yeah, so at that point I still needed to do the heart echo and the chest x-rays at that point. And my doctor said, like, yeah, our options are not great for being able to get these done. Because just most of the smaller medical practices where they'd have the machinery to do that are closed. Like they have the equipment to do x-rays and all that at the lab, like where I got the lab done, but the lab was shut down because they can't have people coming in. So because otherwise I would have just done it there. Let's see. I got called to make an appointment for my heart echo, which is the ultrasound of the heart to make sure everything's structurally fine with it. So we got it all scheduled, and then at the end of the call, the person making the appointment was like, "Oh, one last thing before we're done here. Have you had a fever or a cough in the last week or so?" And yeah, that's the whole point of of me getting the scan done.
8 o'clock.
I love this note. So good. And when I truthfully said yes, she's like, all right, I'm gonna put you on hold and I'm gonna talk to my supervisor. I was like, oh great, this is probably not gonna end well. And so after about like 10 minutes or so, oh no, don't wreck the table. Table is faultless. You stay away from that table. There we go, perfect. So after 10 minutes, she calls back and says, okay, all right, yeah, we can do our appointment. We'll get the scan done in May 29th. I'm like, what? May 29th? Because she said, yeah, that's our standard procedure now because you've had a cough and a fever. And I'm like, I have serious concerns about my heart failing way before then. Can we work something out? She's like, nope, sorry, that's policy.
Take this!
Like, Alright, I gotta concentrate with this for a second here. Alright. One more QTE here. Yo. Alright, downright A. Shenmue 3 did have something like this, but they were much shorter. Like one of the notable ones was it's like on the outskirts of the village in the first half of the game, where there's the two punk guys are locked some other dude in a hut, and you need to QTE fight them, and then it leads into an actual fight with them. But it didn't have super long ones like our do. Okay, so at that point, my heart echo got delayed until late May at that point. So then roll around to that Sunday morning where I felt like I was having a heart attack. Like I could barely move. I had pain in my wrists and my shoulder and my chest. Heart was pounding. Like I thought, shit, I gotta go to the hospital. So I had my sister take me to the ER that Sunday. That was like Sunday at like ish. They did the heart's electrical lead check thing again. Did more extensive x-rays. They took 2 x-rays, a side view and a front view, as opposed to the front view they did earlier. And then they gave me this inhaler thing. That was like, it looked like a bong. Like I thought inhalers are supposed to be a thing that you just did. Wait, what am I doing? We got duck racing to do. Inhalers are supposed to be like the little thing that you just like that, but instead it was this long plastic cylinder, like that long, with a mouthpiece on one end, and then a thing like that where you slot the inhaler into. And they had me take a few puffs of that thing, which made my chest burn, but it didn't like help my cough or anything. Yes, I did get back the results of the nose scrub, and my first coronavirus test that I took at the hospital in early May came up negative. And so did the flu test as well. All right, go on to this.
That duck race the other day.
Yo, what's with that duck?
I caught it.
How about a race?
About a race.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Watch me, baby. All right, so we'll pick up the story after the duck race here. Yep, might as well get high.
The yellow one at number 5. A for speed. Good at getting a head start. The overall favorite.
You can register your duck here to participate in the race.
Hey, you got a nice duck there. It'll be $50 to try if you're going to enter the race.
All right.
Yeah, I'll enter the race.
Okay, your duck is white at number 1. The race starts soon, so get ready. Okay, time to start.
The corner there. Obviously not going to win a race with the level 1 duck, but this is a pretty clean race. Alright.
Too bad. It lost.
That was close. Another try?
It's a spacer.
$50 to try if you're going to enter the race.
No, I guess not.
No, I guess
Do
not.
you want to place a bet?
No, I guess not.
All right, come again.
Alright, perfect.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Duck races. Okay, so yeah, the test came up negative, and how that all worked was I got a call from the who was it that called? The nurse said I was gonna get a call from the county of Monterey, because that's where I live. But instead it was the hospital's infectious disease department is I think what she said when she identified herself on the phone. And the gist of the conversation was we got your coronavirus test results and they came up negative, and your flu test also came up negative. So whatever it is that infected me, they weren't sure what it was. So I was like, okay, good, and then hung up, and that was it. And in talking with my doctor, it was likely a false negative, or at that point the virus or whatever it was wasn't able to be detected at that point, for a few reasons. One, I came in and actually went to the hospital like way after I had symptoms and after they had already kind of dissipated. And then two, remember the nurse fucking dropped the first sample that she did, and we had to do 2 of them. And I didn't have much like material in the back of my. I gotta save it just in case it crashes. I didn't have much material for them to swab in the back of my sinuses, anyways, because like that was kind of the weird thing about a lot of the sickness was I didn't have congestion, I didn't have a runny nose. It was like bone dry in the back of my throat for pretty much the whole process, which I kind of liked that, at least, because then I didn't have to contend with having to blow my nose all the time, because that probably would have made things even worse. Oh, that's right, we're talking to sailors in this category.
Excuse me. Yes?
Yes?
I'd like to ask. I see.
I see.
Are there any? They're based. I see. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, sailor. Who are you? You don't belong here.
Hills Wharf. Ren is here.
Who are you? This is no place for strangers. Get lost before you get hurt.
I can never get that guy's line right. Alright. So we're gonna get lost before we get hurt. Then we're going to not get that joy cutscene. I almost walked right into it. Yeah, blue tracksuit guy. He's around. So let's see. What else happened at that point? Okay, so then I got in touch with my doctor again. After that, the second ER visit. He called up the heart echo people and got them to essentially just let me in and forego protocol and let me go in there and get the heart scan done. So I went and did that. The hospital, Chomp, the community hospital in Monterey, it's a really nice hospital. It's like a hotel. If you didn't have like all the people in doctor gear sitting around, it could have been like a fancy ass hospital or a hotel. All right, we want hot ones.
One-on-one game. Make some money with big or small. Hey boy, how about a game?
How about it?
I'll play.
That's the spirit. How much are you betting?
How much can I afford here? What? How much money do I have? Okay.
Now place your bet.
It's here.
I think I have to win this. Yeah, they do have a koi pond. Yeah, it's... Okay.
One, two. It's small. Luck plays a part in any game. Do you want to try again? You can't go home like this.
Maybe next time.
Is this it?
Almost as bad as it gets. Let's see. And so yeah, the going to a hospital in these weird times was how much do I have? I have 541. Okay, we actually could have afforded to lose that, but oh well. Just force of habit.
Hey boy, how about a game?
Because I need 500 for Ren and then 20 for a map, or 10 for a map.
That's the spirit. How much are you betting?
Oh no, I couldn't afford that. Okay, so you do have to win.
It's here.
Yeah, there's something weird with my recollection of the route here.
6. It's small. You lose. Do you want to try again? You can't go home.
And unfortunately, like in this version of the game, there is no quick way to reset. have to do this. But yeah, so going into the hospital, they have multiple security checkpoints.
A one-on-one game. Make some money with big or small. Hey boy, how
to get
about
in.
a game?
So they have a guy in front of the main entrance whose
spirit.
only
How
job
much are you betting?
is to turn away people who are bringing flowers for patients. Which that's got to be a pretty depressing job.
2, 2, 4.
I suppose it could be worse.
Small. Too bad. You'll play again. You might win some back next.
No, I won't.
Is this it?
Because all I was seeing him doing, there were multiple people who were showing up with these big fucking like flower bouquets, and the only thing I ever saw him do was going, "Hey, stop, turn around, and leave. You can't come in here with those." Because it doesn't matter how dire things are for anybody inside, they're not allowing any visitors and no flowers, especially. So that's got to be real bad if you got family members in there that are not going to make it for much longer because they aren't letting anybody in.
Go for it.
Like that's kind of the fucked up thing, but that's how they got to do it.
2, 2, 5. It's small.
Come on.
How about another?
Come on.
You might win some back next.
No, I won't.
Giving up?
So yeah, that was the first checkpoint. Was they had to make sure that you had a good reason to be there outside the doors. And then just slightly inside the doors, there is an armed guard and a nurse. It's like airport style security is essentially what they're doing. They had an armed guard and a nurse with a infrared thermometer where they checked that you were supposed to be there, and they would check your temperature and ask you if you had a cough. And you had to pass that check in order to get to the main desk again, where they had more guards.
Now place your bet.
And that's where you actually check in and say, okay, I'm here for my heart appointment. Okay, finally.
6. It's big. You were lucky.
So for whatever reason, they have the cardiology
No, I won't.
scan place was down a bunch of stairs that I couldn't find an elevator or anything. You gotta talk to this guy.
That's there. Why don't you
Heavens. Excuse me. How do I enter?
guys?
Okay.
Wait, did I? Oh no. Did I miss a step? Oh, I was supposed to talk to the... Shit, I might have to go and, I messed things up here. Okay, maybe... I was supposed to talk to that guy outside of that shop, and then he says to come down here to ask about the guys from the heavens.
Dulin.
Does Dulin know about guys from the heavens?
They are the gam.
All right.
Okay, well, Dulin clued us in. And now I can probably talk to that other guy? And if this doesn't work, I have to go to the other guy. Oh, man. That sucks, Nicole. Hopefully your dad's doing okay. So yeah, they have the heart scan stuff is all down a bunch of stairs. So I don't know how they... Wait, I was supposed to...
A one-on-one game. Make some money with big or small.
This has gone
Hey, boy,
so far off the rails.
How about a game?
How about a game, though? I just want to know where the heavens are.
Is this it?
So yeah, I go down there.
What is it?
Heavens.
Have you seen?
If you're looking...
Okay, now he tells us.
Around where's the...
Get out.
A warehouse.
Go around.
All right.
Okay. Alright, we were able to do it. It just took a little bit of a detour. This wasn't optimal. So yeah, I did the heart scan. So for that, you have to take your shirt off, lay down on your left side on a cot thing, and then they have this ultrasonic probe thing, which is just like a
warehouse. It's here.
It's like it's as big as a phone. It's like taking a smartphone and just pressing it into your chest, and it takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes tops of looking at your heart. And yeah, that was pretty straightforward. And apparently from that, my heart looks mostly fine. There was one thing was unusual with it, like the flow rate or something, aortic flow rate or something was higher than it should have been. But my doctor said that that's, some people just have that. And it's not something to really worry about. So the bottom line result of that was that I do not have any structural damage with my heart, which is good. That's great. I'm glad that that everything that went on is not going to make my heart fail anytime soon, from the looks of things, which is nice. And my other concern was blood clots and all that. One, because that's apparently a thing that happens with COVID infection, and then two, I was pretty much laying in bed, not moving, for damn near a month. And I was thinking that maybe that's connected to the big throbbing pains I was having in my forearms and in my shoulder and my chest. Like shit, maybe that was like a partial clot or something, and it was backing up the blood flow. And apparently that is one of the blood tests that they did. And also there was a second set of blood tests done at the ER the second time I went in. They did another set of blood tests there. Get this skip done here. Oop, how am I in that menu? So apparently there is an indicator in your blood that can be used for diagnostic purposes to check if there is any clotting going on. That they can look at some sort of chemical compound in your blood to see if there's any weird clotting going on. I think I overshot. There we go. Now we're D-dimer. Yep, there you go. And my D-dimer levels were good, so not a concern for. You can't skip this scene in this version, I guess. Levels for that were good, so clotting apparently not an issue so far.
I've got no business with you guys.
And then another of the blood tests, my doctor did a test for something called microplasma.
You got any money?
Which presents similar symptoms to COVID.
If you want to see him, bring $500.
And my doctor wanted to test me for that because that was another possibility.
Rent only meets those who make
that
donations.
I happened to get this other weird respiratory infection at the same time as this fucking pandemic.
I've got $500.
Boy, would have been funny if I did. And the test for that tests for two things. It shows short-term infections, meaning you've had it recently, and also if you've had it at any point in the past. And the result of that test was I did not have it recently, but I did have it in the past. So I had the long-term antibodies, but not the recent ones. So what we learned from that is that whatever infected me recently was not mycoplasma. But I did have it at some point in the past, which I would have had drawing a blank here. The fluid in the lungs. I would have had the fluid in the lungs along with that, because that's what mycoplasma is. But I don't remember ever having that before.
Are you the one who wants a donation?
So that was a little weird.
I want to know where young Dr. Who is.
Easy.
No problem. Alright, this I gotta spam B. Alright, there's a 500.
May the gods be with you.
Ow, my face. Ow, my balls. Okay. Alright, so that brings us to... Why is that guy there? Okay. I've never seen that guy there before. That must be because of that extra cutscene. So where does that bring us here in the timeline? That brings us to about May 1st-ish, maybe. So all during this, so after the pneumonia-like symptoms and all that,
Who the hell?
Where did Ren?
kind of the worst thing after that point,
Don't mess with.
along with like the mild headaches, the fever, and all that, was my chest was super sore. Like it felt like I just got hit by a train every single night. Just hit by a train, a new train every evening, and like from my entire torso would just be sore as hell. Like
Forgive me, please.
like if you aren't very active for a long time, and then you do your first workout in a long time, and you know the day after, like you're sore, your muscles are sore. It felt like that, except pretty much my entire front of my torso and a little bit on the sides, under my arms. And like there's no real good reason why that should be like that for me, because clearly I haven't been active at all doing anything. Let's see. And then at that point I was still super tired, still super out of breath. Like I couldn't walk 50 feet down to the mailbox. Like I was trying to be more active, because I knew I was kind of at the back end of the worst parts of the illness.
Joy.
And yeah,
Nothing will
like
stop
the
him.
oh shit. Alright, there's that cough again. So the cough has actually gotten a lot better, thankfully. I used to be coughing near non-stop for some days. And it's a dry cough. It's not like you're coughing and anything comes up or anything. It's just like a dry wheeze. Like, like that. Is all that it will be. And it would get much worse after I talk, which is a big reason why I did not, didn't stream earlier, because like even though I didn't have a fever, I wasn't feeling weak or anything. Like if I talked for more than 30 seconds, I would just be in a coughing fit for a long time. So that's why I had to wait until essentially this week. And another thing that fairly recently is that luckily I haven't been sneezing much, but the few times where I have sneezed, it is the worst pain. It's like your lungs are filled up with needles is kind of the pain, and that lasts for like 2 minutes. Like both your lungs are just completely fucked for 2 minutes, and then luckily it goes away after that. But man, I have to mentally prepare myself, or I did in the last few weeks, like every time I felt a sneeze coming, because, oh boy, was that horrible.
Take a look. Great view.
Great view. But if I recall correctly, you can't skip the cutscene coming up here in this version.
Wait.
Hey, Greg. Oh, okay, yep, so you can't skip this one. So yeah, the coughing has gotten better. My face isn't red anymore. The face redness kind of cleared up.
Looks like you're still alive.
Maybe 6 days ago. So my face was like bright beet red, which obviously you can't see. Until that was from like April 10th until maybe May 1st is I think when that went away. And like there was no reason for my face to be red. I'm not out in the sun. I'm not exerting myself. Like it was just the weirdest thing. So that the chest pain, chest aches. There's chest aches in my whole torso, and then this pretty bad pain just to the left of my sternum. And that lasted for a while too, but that went away in like late April, thankfully. And then also had the cold chest feeling, like
now I want to hand the pot.
It felt slightly wet, like I hadn't dried off the center of my chest after a shower or something. And that also persisted until like late April. I was like, man, this shouldn't be like this. Why is this not getting any better?
Yo, did you find Ren?
So that was pretty alarming, along with all of that.
What happened?
I have to leave home.
And then, after all of that got better.
Back to Japan?
No, I have to.
Let's see, what's today? The 10th? Maybe on the 3rd or the 4th.
That again?
Just randomly in the middle of the day, my kidneys felt like they just got super hot. Like uncomfortably hot. I could put my hands right where my kidneys are, and I probably could have cooked 2 eggs on my kidneys, and they were just really painful over my kidneys, and that lasted for like 5 minutes or so, and then went away.
Already?
Yeah.
But
leaving Hong Kong.
I don't know.
I want to say thanks to the people.
I might have some problems with my kidneys going along here, because I still have these pains in my
Not really.
In my abdomen from all that. Yeah, for 5 minutes I was just like, this can go away any second now.
But please be careful.
Because I've never had that happen before, where I could I could put my hand on the center of my belly and it would be room temperature or so, and then I'd move my hands over to my sides and they'd be burning the fuck up. So I don't know. Hopefully not kidney stones. Well, kidney stones you can deal with. With technology you can fix that. The problem is kidney failure is the thing, because that's because that's apparently one of the things that COVID does to you as kind of an aftermath thing, is it fucks up your kidneys. And there were some strange readings in my blood tests that we had, like comparing the results of the blood test with the one I had 8 months ago. There was a whole bunch of shit on there that was, the graphs were straight up on the graph for that. All right, Dragon Ball fight time. So that's going to be a growing concern, and then bringing us to this week or so. Last I spoke with my doctor, he wants me to get a antibody test done. So when I went into the ER in early April, they did the nasal swab test for the active infection, which all that does is it checks for active virus cells in your body when they're doing their business, which that test came up negative. but they did that test like a few weeks after my symptoms, like the really bad ones, went away, and they had to do the fucking test twice, as we previously established. Back.
Good. The weight shift looks fine. Try exerting force with your
So now
arms
the
and
next step
neck.
for that is to
Try it
do
out.
a what's called is an antibody test. So that is the direct. Got it. Okay. Can't skip this either.
You've got it.
Don't
forget the move.
So the
Yes.
the next step for that is to get a antibody test. So what that is
You got it.
they either draw blood or they do like a finger prick blood test at a lab, and then they check that to see if your body's created
You must not fall into
antibody cells, which are your immune system
Don't forget that.
produces those after the infection has been cleared up, and they stay in your bloodstream for a set amount or n amount of time. Things still aren't super clear on how long that stays in, and then that shows if you've had an infection in the recent past. And those take, God, I think the most recent understanding is it takes at least 2 to 3 weeks sometimes for the body to make enough of those to be detectable. So my doctor wants me to do that, and then on top of that, apparently there are some labs that
We're going.
essentially went for a cash grab once testing started. And one of the labs in my area is one of those cash grab ones. So a few weeks ago, I was researching like, hey, maybe I should just go out and go get this test on my own. Because at that point, a few weeks ago, last time I talked to my doctor, or 2 times ago, he said that tests were pretty much just not available. Like, they were either super expensive or only available to medical or essential personnel, regardless if you had symptoms or not. It was pretty much a no-go a few weeks ago. And then now it's become more widespread, but some labs are giving like wildly inconsistent results. And according to my doctor's like staff epidemiologists, the first lab that I looked at is one of those that are giving like a whole bunch of false positives, a whole bunch of false negatives. They're charging a huge amount of money for it, but they were one of the first to market, so that's why they were able to get a lot of business for it. But one of the larger labs in my area is now offering
This is
a apparently good antibody test.
Building. Let's go.
So right now we're still just waiting until probably the end of this week to get that done. So if, and it's a big if my body is making antibodies, we'll have the best chance of being able to detect them later this week. But really the end result of all of that, like positive or negative, it kind of doesn't matter, right? Because we still don't know if any immunity is conferred with them or not, and you can still pass along the virus even if you have antibodies. Like you'd still be a carrier, you can still spread it. So it's like the result of the test will be like peace of mind for me of whether or not I am quote unquote protected for any amount of time. But it's really not going to change any sort of treatments or anything. So, but I still want to do it, and it is still important that we do it. And luckily my insurance is going to cover the all the costs of that testing. So that's kind of where we're currently at. And like as far as long-term things go here, so obviously kidneys still a problem, still probably going to be an issue. I forgot how to do this clip, so I'm just going to go to the elevator. I still have this cough, which is still alarming me, because it's actually been enough that it's giving me a headache when I have it. Donating plasma, yeah. Oh shit, I'm supposed to go to the 3rd floor. Yeah, I'd be cool donating plasma. Like I know that those are needed. I don't know my blood type or anything, so fuck if I know. But yeah, especially in my area, because the Monterey County really doesn't have that many cases of COVID around here, because we're mostly it's not a densely populated area. So like in total, like the total amount of confirmed cases in Monterey County is like, it's less than 1,000. But I'm pretty sure that where I would have gotten it would have been from a delivery guy from Santa Clara, which Santa Clara has a shitload of cases. So if anything, I probably got it from him or from my sister who works in Santa Clara for Google. But it doesn't really matter where I got it. Just that it just fucking goes to show that even if you're a hermit like me, you can still get it. Yeah, from a delivery guy. Yep. Like it was my PCBs from China. Was the delivery guy. It was a DHL delivery guy, and I very specifically told them multiple times to just leave the fucking package at my door. But naturally the guy couldn't find my apartment, which like every single delivery person can't find my apartment. So he calls me and like I wave at him to come on over and leave it there. And I'm at the top of my staircase, and I tell the guy like, hey, just leave it there. I already consented to no signature. Just leave the package at the base of my stairs. And the fucking guy is sitting in his truck, and he goes, no, 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 come here. Come here, come here, come here. And he's just sitting there in the middle of the street, like waving at me to come get it, even though I said they texted me. I did the thing for, yes, consent to leave it at my door. On their website, I said, yes, leave it at my door. But then the guy would not give me my package unless I came over to him and physically signed for it with him, and then he would give it to me. So in order to do that, I had to get literally face to face with him in his truck. And he's a spit talker. So he was telling me about all the couldn't find your place. It's so hard to find, and like, okay, fine, just give me the thing. Our whole exchange lasted like 30 seconds, but that was apparently enough.
Excuse me.
Alright, there's Carlos, he's a ghost. Yep. So that was a thing. So that is my best guess for how I got whatever the fuck that was. Because all the other times I leave my apartment are to get the mail, which don't have any contact with anything there. I do drive-through ATM. I do drive-through for 2 different food places, and then the grocery store. And then that's it. That is all the times that I leave my house. like there isn't
from here.
There isn't one thing that I could point to for like, yeah, I was in the club and got the Rona from going to the club. Like, nah, I'm just here all the time. So yeah, it's not great. The grocery store stuff, yeah, that's especially if you have any sort of immune system problems. That's gonna be the strat. Or if you just want to not get coronavirus, which I recommend not getting coronavirus. Look at that, first try.
Found it. We can go upstairs.
Let's move.
Yeah, the problem with the area that I'm in is that getting delivery is not really an option. This might still work. Okay, yeah, it worked. Just because my place is so hard to find, that getting delivery is not an option.
Good. Let's go upstairs.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, actually, another thing that I saw recently was there is a link between low vitamin D levels and wait, I did the clip wrong. There's a link between low vitamin D levels and getting it, which would make sense. Well, severity of symptoms, not just getting it, but getting wrecked from it. So in my case, mine would have been. Okay, there. That's what. Mine would have been higher than mild. So more than moderate, I guess, would be how you describe what I had. But luckily, it wasn't bad enough that I needed breathing assistance at the ventilator. That's what really fucks you up. That's when you're in real trouble. If you got a ventilator. But that isn't to say that I had a great and easy time with what I had to deal with, because I was legit in fear for my life for many days. Like, if you have to write a will and tell your loved ones, like, hey, I might not wake up, then things aren't great. And that's kind of what it got to in early April. And believe me, I put that in my little information packet. Like, hey, get on my Twitter and announce my death if it comes down to them. So, no, not a form or anything. I wrote up a document on, like, hey, here's how to get into my phone. Here's how you get into my password manager, and hey, write this on my Twitter if things go real bad. Which, hey, that's probably something that anybody should really have, realistically, because you never know. Just keep that shit on file somewhere for your loved ones, just in case. But yeah, things were a little touch and go for those pneumonia days. All right. Almost done with these stair clips here, eh? Yeah, that's Techie Will. Not like, hey, feed my cat, but hey, here's my Twitter password. Yeah, that's just the reality of the situation. And also, I was really glad at that point, or before all this happened, that I've had chronic back pains. So I already had on my bed a projector and a gaming laptop hooked up to it. Because occasionally I just have to take days where I would just have to lay in bed all day and rest my back. Yeah, that could kill me right now. And so for most of this, since I was on my bed for pretty much the whole fucking month, like 4 straight weeks of being on my bed all day, I just had my projector going, and was like watching YouTube through my gaming laptop, and I also played through the entirety of Dragon Quest Builders 2 on Steam. And luckily that game is like 50 hours long. I think it took me 45 hours to beat that. So my days for when things are really bad was I would wake up after, like, I would maybe get an hour and a half of of sleep when the days are really bad. I would get up, go to the bathroom, make a thing of Soylent, and then I would get right back in bed and play Dragon Quest Builders 2 for the entire day. And then try to sleep at my regular sleeping time, which did not happen most nights. Like, I barely got any fucking sleep at all.
Where are you going? You gotta stay warm.
I know.
I know. I'm not sure if you have to do this in this version, but we'll do that. So luckily I had my gaming setup all ready to go. Because man, if I didn't have that and the Soylent, then oh man, I would have had a real bad time. Because I live alone. Like, I had to do this shit by my fucking self. I had to try and survive this for the month plus with no outside assistance. Whatever I had in my apartment is all I had. And luckily, at the start of the pandemic, I ordered a whole bunch of Soylent, so I had a whole bunch of Soylent left over and could easily make those and be good on that. But man, was that difficult. Like, I don't recommend going through that by yourself if you can avoid it. And be prepared.
Keep alert! Get him!
Finish him! Hey!
Yeah, get him! No, dodge!
Okay. Oh god.
I just can't stand rats.
Ah, shit. I just can't stand rats.
You scampering rat! You're mine!
Alright. Yeah, Ring Fit Adventure is something I've actually been looking at.
Concentrate on yourself, on staying calm.
Because I need to do something like that to get in shape.
That is the state of a serene mind.
Oh, also, I lost 10 pounds during that the whole pneumonia thing. When I was laying on my fucking back.
Concentrate only on your mind.
That's how bad my metabolism was at that point. When I was just fucking famished. Oh shit. Alright, cool cutscene. Let's see it again. Oh my god, we gotta do the fight again. I completely forgot there was another command there.
What are you waiting for?
But yeah, that's not exactly the way I wanted to lose 10 pounds, but I lost them. There's 10 pounds I don't need to lose playing Ring Fit Adventure, I guess.
Hey!
Watch out! Get him! No! Dodge! He's almost finished! Get him!
Oh, what's he?
There's your right, stupid, don't you?
All right, this time we'll do.
I just can't stand rats.
Fitness boxing. I'm still considering getting
Rat! You're mine.
Beat Saber for VR. Because I love rhythm games, and I love,
Damn. What should I do?
VR. So that seems like a good thing there.
That is the state of the serene mind.
Like a polished mirror.
Polished mirror.
Concentrate. Only on your mind.
This'll finish you off.
Oh, also speaking of VR, so before Half-Life Alyx came out, I was trying to get a Valve Index set up, and there was a shipment of Valve Index stuff that came in or went on sale in like early March or mid-March, I want to say. Oh, all right, this is Duckerson, so we gotta admire some. Yeah. All right. That's pretty good. Better. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, Bobby.
I want to ask you something.
What? Where are you from? You're not from Guilin, are you?
I'm from Japan.
Japan? I know it. It's a foreign country, right?
Yes, it is. I want to go to Bailu Village. Do you know where it is?
Bailu Village? I'm not sure how to...
Bobby's got the pandemic haircut.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about Japan?
All the barbers are closed, so you gotta do it yourself.
I'll tell you the way to
That's how you end up with that. Let's do it, Bobby.
Yeah.
What should I tell you? In Japan, we have a food called sashimi.
Sashimi?
See, you put soy sauce and wasabi on raw fish and eat it.
Is it yummy?
Yeah, it's really good.
Sounds good. I want to try some. But what's soy sauce?
Soy sauce? You have it here too, no?
The black salty stuff?
Yeah, that's it.
And what's wasabi?
Wasabi? It's spicy.
Is it different from chili?
Yes, it's green.
Wow, I really want to eat sashimi.
I don't think they sell them here.
Hey, that's not fair. I want some. I want some.
I don't really know what to tell you.
I want some.
Oh, no.
Hey, what else? What else?
I love this conversation so much. All right, Bobby. Tell you about samurai.
Yeah.
What should I tell you? There are many samurai in Japan.
Samurai?
Oh, they all have top knots and carry swords.
Swords? Sounds pretty scary to me.
They attacked bad people with their swords.
Wow, they're pretty cool then. But...
Huh?
What's a top knot?
They rolled their hair, and it stands up on top of their heads.
Huh?
You understand?
Then... What do you mean, rolled up?
Oh, no.
Hey,
No.
What else? What else?
All right, Bobby. Good talk. All right, Specs. Hey. Hey, come back here.
Can you help me?
Yes?
Yes?
Do you know where Bailu Village is?
I know Bailu Village, but
What?
I've never been there.
Useless. Okay. All right, but so to wrap up my 2-hour plus story here, I am doing much better. I guess is the bottom line. I'm still recovering.
Hi. Do you know where Bailu Village
but
is?
things could be worse.
Yeah, I know.
Where is it?
Well, let me think. Forget it. I have an idea.
Huh?
Let's play together.
Please, I want to know about Bailu Village.
Please.
Hey, well then, where are you from?
I'm from a foreign country named Japan.
Wow, you're from abroad? That's cool. Let's play together. I'll call some more friends.
What? No.
So also, now that Shenmue 3's out, by the way, the kids in Shenmue 3 don't look anything like this. Like they have Western clothes on in Shenmue 3.
Can you tell me about Bailu Village?
So maybe it's just
Only if you tell me what kind of games you have in Japan.
the kids in the river
Games?
wear this?
If you tell me about them, I'll tell you about Bailu Village.
Alright.
I used to go to arcades quite often.
An arcade? What's that?
They had many games there.
What do you mean by games?
Oh, I'll elaborate on the smell and taste thing after this conversation, but that's another long-term
Computer
thing.
games? The ones where you put tokens into the slots to play.
Another alarming
Why
thing.
do you need money to play?
Well, it's an arcade, so...
Why? Why do you need money to play in an arcade?
You need money to play with the games.
That's strange. It's a waste to spend money on games.
Is it a waste of money? Well, you may be right.
Right.
What else? Tell me.
Can you tell me about Bailu Village?
Tell her about Capsule
Only if
Toys,
you tell me what kind of games you have in Japan.
and then I'll tell you the other kind of scary thing that's cropped up that I forgot to mention.
Let's see. I collected capsule toys.
A capsule toy?
Yeah, they come in small transparent capsules. You put in the coins, and then you get the toys.
Wow, that's cool. You've got such cool things in Japan.
That's right.
I envy the Japanese kids.
But you don't know what you'll get until the moment you open it.
Sounds like a lottery.
Yeah, something like that.
Are there many capsule toy machines in Japan?
Yeah, there are a lot. But I saw some in Hong Kong too.
Really? So did you try the ones in Hong Kong too?
Well, grown-ups aren't supposed to do those things.
Oh. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we have to talk to the most important NPC in the game first.
Excuse me. Can I ask you something? Is this the right way to Bailu Village? Excuse me, which way is Bailu Village? Is this the way to Bailu Village?
No, I can't eat anymore.
What? Oh well. Excuse me. There's no need to... I'd rather not.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So, I just remember that I forgot to mention this. So, geez, it was like this was early on. This would have been 2 nights after I last streamed, which was part 2 of Half-Life Alyx, I think, is when this happened. So I woke up in the middle of the night. I had a little bit of a fever, and I was really confused because I thought I was still playing the game, and I was laying in bed like this, and I was doing this with the bed sheet, and I remember thinking at the time, like, man, there's really good physics on these bed sheets in this VR game. And then I went back to bed. So I remember that was a weird thing that happened a couple days into the early fever stuff. That was my only weird fever dream that I had, though. So about the loss and smell and taste. So that's the first day I could only taste and smell like 20% of things if I had to put a number on it. And it was replaced with this weird, like, musty hospital ass was how I would describe the smell that replaced all my other smell senses.
No.
Japan?
And then the day after that, I had lost all the rest of it. You know, I was at 0%.
What is it?
What kind of place?
All I could smell and taste was this musty ass hospital
Your family is
smell. Like,
I see.
like it was.
Shenpa.
Yes?
It was like a little bit of disinfectant mixed with like
Laturion.
Yes.
dirty ass. Would be like what I would describe it as. It was not pleasant, and it was a sharp odor.
Really? A lot of them.
And then
Okay.
the day after that, it started coming back, or my smell and taste came back. It was at like half. The day after that,
Laturion.
and then the day after that, it was pretty much back to almost normal.
Flower.
But
Why are there so many?
Why?
here's the alarming thing about that.
You see them.
I see.
If I smell my fingertips,
Yes?
I can smell that stank smell again. So it hasn't quite completely gone away, which I don't know.
Be careful.
I don't know what the fuck is up with that. Because a possibility for that is that there's either like some remnant of whatever that infection was in my
Watch your step.
my nasal things, the nasal cells, or the even worse thing for that is that it possibly did brain damage to the sensory portion of the brain.
Watch your
Which,
step.
boy, I hope that it didn't do that. Because I'd rather not smell this fucking stank smell for the rest of my life. But it's weird. It's one of those things where like, hey, everything's back to normal, and then I just happen to take a whiff of the old fingertips, as I do, and then, oh god, I know exactly what that smell is from. And why am I still smelling that? So I have honestly no clue what the fuck that is about, or how, like, I can't say like, hey doctor, come smell my fingers in the middle of this pandemic, like, and I wash my hands, I still smell it. I take a shower, I still smell it. The day after, I still smell it. Like, so it's like, fuck. It's not great. So that, along with the kidney problems, still having this cough,
Watch your step.
like, whatever this is, it ain't done yet. But at least the pneumonia, it went away a month ago. Because that's the stuff that will actually kill you, along with the blood clots and strokes and heart attacks and all that.
Step.
Which, from the looks of things, is not currently an issue. Yep. Hey, Dr. Castle, I think. Yep. Yeah, and it's weird doing video consultations with my doctor. Like, I hook up the old C920 and just log on to this website, and And then tell my doctor, like, yeah, still feeling like shit today. Still. And, yep, there's only so much you can do over a video teleconference, but, like he isn't even at his office either. He's like, he clearly does his consultations from his bedroom. Like, oh, man. Hey, Deadbot. Yep, e-doctors. He's gonna diagnose some diseases and then frag some noobs.
Be careful. All right.
How am I hit the right button. Oh, my notes are for the 360 button presses. And X is the square button in this case.
Be careful.
Yeah, he tabs out to do some doctor business. And then he's playing Valorant or something.
Watch your step.
Valorant actually looks pretty cool, by the way. I've seen some footage of it. I don't think I'd ever play it because that's not my kind of game. But I enjoy watching it more than like Counter-Strike. Maybe just because I'm just tired of Counter-Strike after all these years, and just it's something new. But I think it looks neat. I've also been watching a lot of StarCraft 2. Like, I haven't watched Korean StarCraft 2 in many years.
Be careful.
But I am otherwise running out of internet video to watch lately because my options are limited. So I've been watching GSL on YouTube. And yep, that StarCraft 2 still looks the same as it always did. Alright.
This is some...
Yes.
Do you always...
Yes, when it gets also...
I see. It's getting...
We have to... Soon, it'll be...
Is it near?
Yes.
Yes.
Traveler...
Sounds good.
Yes. Alright. Cam. Yeah, the whole the weird spyware thing that they make you install for Valorant is pretty scummy. And the funniest thing is there's apparently still aimbots and wall hacks in it. Like they make you install this super intrusive anti-cheat thing and people are still cheating. Amazing. Incredible. So all of that. Oh, got to diamond in 2v2? Nice. What race do you play? I think I played Protoss in my very brief StarCraft 2 competitive career, where I played like
should be more
3 games, and then it is too stressful for me. I think I get. Well, no, I get. It actually does matter which ones you get here because one of them automatically warps you back. Yeah, cheaters find a way. Like I'm surprised that that there isn't a...
I should go back.
An aimbot that uses image recognition and actually looks at the game feed piped in through something else and then sends in commands through a like a microcontroller to a virtual keyboard and mouse to do like aim snapping, because it'd technically be an external thing. So how would they be able to detect that, right?
Good, you found them.
Yeah, there seems to be more. I'll go gather them.
Yes.
Yes. All right, get resting bitch face here. It's part of the category.
What happened? Couldn't you find any firewood?
No.
Look carefully. Please look again, Yo.
Yeah, I know.
Detect that just by analysis? Well, you'd think they'd be able to detect the ones that run on their computer by analysis too, right? Like, Like with the anti-cheat that's already running. Because I know that there's some other online anti-cheat thing that just straight up checks if you have cheat engine installed, and then it just goes, yep, you're cheating in your online match because you got cheat engine installed. I forget what game did that, but something did. Okay, and this automatically warps you back. All right.
Good.
Good.
Thank you. Come by the fire to get warm, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly for peace of mind to shareholders. Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
talk to me.
Is Riot even publicly traded? Let's see. Life?
How do you usually
I plan.
Do you go to school?
We don't anything.
How old are you?
16.
2 years younger?
Do you go?
I used to.
Is school?
Yeah, it would have been
School. What were your friends?
Alright. Tell her about Goro.
I remember... Oh yeah.
Oh, their parent company.
There was Goro.
Oh yeah, didn't they get bought by
Yeah.
Tencent,
I met him
I
at
think?
the harbor.
Weren't they,
When I first
under Chinese ownership, or is that...
and taking money from people.
Yeah, Tencent.
What do you mean by bullying?
Geez, so they have a stake in
money.
in Riot,
He sounds like a bad person.
in Unreal.
Inside, he's a nice
Man.
guy. He doesn't do those things anymore. He's eager to please.
In what ways?
He changes his attitude towards certain things real quickly.
Who did you have a game if you did
He
that?
started calling
Nice.
me bro out of nowhere.
What a funny person.
Yeah.
Goro. He found a job for me at the harbor. A job carrying crates.
Ah, there's a job like that in the village. This person owns many cows and...
No, I carried them using a machine.
machines? Oh,
Good Shinhwa.
experienced
Found
a lot of
Tencent.
things. What other friends did you have?
I think I have to tell her about this, homie?
There was no...
Can't remember.
I have a picture.
What other...
I think if you say quit, it just makes you do it again. Oh, my friend Tom as well.
There was Tom.
Tom?
He's from the States. He's a real funny guy.
Did he go to school too?
No, he sold hot dogs in town.
Hot dogs?
It's a foreign food. He also loved to dance. He was always singing.
He sounds like a fun person.
Yeah, he taught me a special move before I left.
Where is he now?
He went back home to the States. I think he's doing fine.
Oh, what other friends did you have?
Talking about the riots, yep. Well, Blizzard's having a bad time anyways. Because I read about the MVP of their Overwatch League quit the game to... he quit the professional Overwatch League to play Valorant instead. That's when you know good old Overwatch is in trouble.
Yes.
I heard that
Yes.
people.
You quit a paying Overwatch League position to go play a beta anime Counter-Strike. Nice.
Yo.
All the mountains.
But aren't they?
Yeah.
They're called...
Shen.
Yes, a pure...
I see.
I see. Alright. Yep. Ain't going so hot. I'm sure things will turn around when they release the mobile Diablo game. Ugh.
Shenfa.
Alright, Shinfa. Let's hurry on.
Let's hurry on.
Yes.
So speaking of mobile games, God, it was like a week or so ago.
Yes.
No, I pressed down. Dang it.
Yes.
Wait. I still got hurry on, but I selected the thing on the left. Sure. Alright, this is left, right, left. The Android version of Neverwinter Nights was on sale. It was like $4, I think. So I actually got it because I had a bunch of that, the Google AdSense surveys credit that they give you for spending 10 seconds randomly typing answers in the survey thing. And it's surprisingly playable on Android on my phone. Like it doesn't run very well on my one of my tablets, but it runs really good on my my recent phone. Yeah, like the old PC game. Yeah. It uses touch controls, and you can You can resize the UI. Like things are kind of hard to tap on, but it's totally playable. And it runs at 60 FPS. On my phone, it runs at 1080p. So I am very slowly going through the beginning of Neverwinter Nights on my phone. It's like the installer from Google Play is like 100 megabytes, and then it has to download the rest of the stuff once you actually get it launched. And it's like 2 gigabytes, I think, is how big the full game is. And it looks fine, and the gameplay is works well enough for that. So for like any special actions that you need to do, you can hit the pause button to pause the action, and then you can like press and hold on something, and it'll bring up this wheel of like, okay, you can examine, or you can attack, you can talk, you can cast spell.
Bailu Village.
Let's skip this scene.
Yo, we were right about taking this path.
Yeah. We can move on.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And yeah, you can move your character with, if you put your finger on the left side and then slide it up, it'll give you the virtual joystick to move around. You can also do tap to move, and you can zoom in with the pinch to zoom, and then turn the camera, which is with swiping. And it works. And it was like $4. And I know they also put on, they have like the Baldur's Gate games, they have the Icewind Dale games, which I've never played any game. I don't know. Okay, this we fail on purpose, because Dr. Sent.
Yo, please be careful. Are you okay?
Yeah, but still, game over. We die of shame.
Yo, please be careful.
Let's see, they also had KOTOR.
Good.
KOTOR 1, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Let's go. The village is still
But
further
I
ahead.
played that game so many times already that I didn't want to buy it again, because I already had it for original Xbox and the not very good PC version. So I wasn't about to buy it again on Android. But it is available. And I don't know, that one might even work better on Android or on phones, just because it already had a more console interface already. Disgaea, maybe? Those are probably like the strategy RPG games I could see working really well for touch interfaces, especially because they're turn-based already. So it's not like you have to do timely inputs on those kind of games. So why not? So let's see. When I was out of commission, I already said I played through all of Dragon Quest Builders 2 on Steam. And man, that was the perfect game for me to play while I was dying in my fucking bed in early April, because that's one of those games where you're under no time pressure. There's nothing at all stressful in those games. You can just kind of build stuff, and the combat in it is just tap on the attack button to do combat. So
Guardians are the sign.
I had my my Steam controller hooked up to my laptop and had the projector going above my bed, and played that for like 45 hours
It's the path that I usually
while I was trying to survive in early April.
You can lead the way.
And then when I was able to not be in bed all day in late April, I played through
Yes.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes.
And play through that. And great game. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did.
Yeah. We'll be taking
Like, I wasn't a big
this way,
fan of
but
the,
It's a field full of beautiful flowers.
Flowers?
Flowers?
Yes. Do you want to see them?
No. Nope. We have not done any Rayman yet in PS Explosion.
Oh. All right. Let's go. This way.
I think there was a Rayman racing game or something.
Hurry on.
Yes.
I can't remember if that's in the upcoming or if it came up once. But there's a Rayman racing
What's
game
wrong,
thing
yo?
that
A strangely shaped tree.
at least came up in a poll, I want to say.
A spider.
The only Rayman game that I played for any significant amount of time was Rayman 2
They do.
I'm
on
walking back to the
PS2.
village. I feel relieved when I see this tree.
And I really like that one because it reminded me of
Drive the village from here. This tree marks the halfway point.
it reminded me of Donkey Kong 64.
Now come on. The village is this way.
Rayman M, PS2? Yeah. Yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, on PS1, I think it's only Rayman 1 is on PS1. Yeah, yep. You're correct.
Shenpa,
What is it?
we've come along.
I'm fine.
Oh,
Are you alright?
no.
You don't have...
The path that...
Yes. Up ahead if you're tired.
A spring.
Alright.
Shenpa,
Yes.
let's hurry on.
Yes.
Oh, 2 is on PS1 as well? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, because I remember playing it on PS2.
Off again.
Yo, what are you doing?
And from what I recall, the Dreamcast version of Rayman 2 is
I told
the best
you,
one?
you'll be fine
Or
if
best
you
version
leave
of
it all
that?
to me. This way.
but that was PS1, PS2,
That's right.
N64, Dreamcast, PC. So that was when Ubisoft was just like, hey, if there's a platform for it, we'll make a version for it. Game Boy Advance, sure, let's do it.
The water's color.
This spring is called Five Colors.
So in this version of the game, they went with
the water's color changes
the
5
Dreamcast
times.
version's cutscene skipping,
has that name.
which is why you can't skip these in the remaster versions.
The color will change soon. Look, yo.
Right. Oh, huh.
Does this happen?
How? I never
Rayman
thought
3.
of this spring as strange.
Yep.
Really?
And then I keep thinking that that Oddworld Stranger's Wrath game, I keep thinking that's a Rayman game, but it is clearly not.
Let's hurry on, yo.
That's an Oddworld game. For some reason, I keep thinking that's part of that universe, but that's another game that I've seen a lot of but never played it.
Landslide again.
Yep, Game Boy Advance ports like Tony Hawk.
I'm sorry, yo.
Man, Game Boy Advance had a lot of garbage on it.
To me to lead you the way.
What a great system.
Don't worry about it.
Also had a lot of great
branching
games too,
path.
Yes.
which we will get to at some point in the backlog. I got my Game Boy player and I got my Game Boy Advance flash cart. So we'll get to those. Yeah, Tekken 3, yeah, and all the weird
Choice, like to go this way.
3D games.
Alright. I'll go first from here.
Ugh.
Yes. You can lead the way.
Yeah, the isometric skateboarding games worked surprisingly well. But then again, Atari figured out how to do that with 720 in the 80s, so there's already a good blueprint for stuff like that. All right. Right, left, right. Got all these flower cutscenes here. Sorry about the coughing, but
What's the matter, Shinpon?
I'm trying to keep it
These are herbs
as little as I can.
for my
And believe me, it used to be way worse.
I'm sorry. I kept you waiting.
Let's go.
Rayman gonna be rough? I played a little bit of original Rayman. Because I remember my dad bought the PC version of it for me way back when. So I played a little bit of PC Rayman 1. And yeah, that game's tough. But yeah, as far as stream business goes, since we're getting towards the end of the run here,
What's wrong?
I honestly don't know when I'm gonna be well enough to
I see some over
to
there,
finish
too.
Half-Life Alyx. Cause
There's so many of them.
with my potential heart issues and having to stand up and coughing and everything that's going on, I honestly don't know when I'll be able to finish up Half-Life Alyx. And man, my Google News feed has been trying really hard to spoil the second half of Half-Life Alyx for me.
Help my father.
Like as I'm scrolling my phone
To you.
while I'm trying not to die in my bed, my Google feed is like, "You'll never believe the ending to Half-Life Alyx," or recommended. Here's this YouTube video of here's what happens in this amazing boss fight in Half-Life Alyx. And I'm like, oh fuck, Google, really? I'm just trying to not die here, and you're doing your best to spoil this fucking game for me. Jesus Christ, Google. Luckily, those stopped appearing in my feed in like in mid-April or so. So I still have no idea what happens in the rest of Half-Life Alyx. And when we'll be able to figure that out, I don't know. At one point in the future. So let's see. Steel Battalion's probably gonna have to be even more back burner than it already was, because that's another one that's gonna be physically strenuous to do. And yeah, I don't know. My little fucking hell. My brush with death has made me reconsider a lot of PS Explosion. like I was thinking, like, man, if I'm just gonna be playing Monkey Hero for the limited time on this earth, do I really want to be doing that? But after I thought about that for a while, I still want to continue PS Explosion as it is. But I think my standards for bailing on games now is gonna be a bit stricter than it previously was. like if I'm not feeling a game, I'm probably gonna bail on it sooner than before. Which, Monkey Hero, oh man, we're getting there.
Jump carefully. We can make it.
Oh, all right. This one was supposed to fail for the category.
Jump!
Okay.
So as far as game selection goes for PS Explosion, that will not change. But if I need to pull the chute on something, I'm gonna do it.
The bridge ends here.
Jump carefully. We can make it.
No, Llama Lana, if a game is in the backlog,
No, jump!
I am committing to
Okay.
do my damnedest to play through the whole thing. And I also bought Llama Lana 2. So I am all in on the llamas.
Lu Village.
Hey, Bubsy 3D wasn't bad.
Oh, let's move on.
That wasn't a bad game. I played worse games than PUBG 3D.
Yes.
That game is unnecessarily slandered. Like, sure, it wasn't amazing, but it gets a bad rap. Oh yeah. But yeah, as far as like near-term stream stuff, what I've learned from tonight's stream, as far as what I'm able to do,
That is a stone lion.
like I'm not super tired after this. I'm still coughing a bit, but I think it's manageable.
Then,
We're back on the usual path. I'm familiar with this path.
really?
So I don't think there'll be any physical limits
Let's go.
as far as being able to at least stream stuff like this. Like obviously the VR stuff and Steel Battalion's gonna have to be pushed back.
Yes.
But I think I'll be able to resume at least regular enough streams in the near future.
The two paths.
Maybe take a day off between them.
Way was it?
Are we lost?
But I was doing that
We'll be
anyway, so
fine.
that won't be too much
Either
different.
path will take us to the village.
It's
just that
What?
one of them will
Oh
be
my
a
god, why can't
detour.
you skip this in this version?
The paths look so much alike, I can't tell which one.
I'll decide on.
So yeah, as far as what I stream next time I stream, I think I just do that first.
Let's go this way.
Yes.
So we have Half-Life Alyx in progress. We have Monkey Hero in progress,
Yes.
which
Let's
Half-Life
hurry
Alyx gonna have to wait. Monkey Hero, I think I'm gonna pull the shoot on. Because I actually looked and saw what we have left to do in Monkey Hero, and oh man,
The village is this way.
I don't think I want to continue that one. Let's see, Steel Battalion, that one's gonna have to wait.
Let's hurry on.
Yes.
So there's La Milana, which I know that one's going to be mentally stressful to play that one, and probably physical as well.
What is that sound?
So I'm not sure I want to dive into that one
Sounds
immediately.
Like a waterfall. I hear it from the path on the left.
I know I committed to Nights into Dreams on
I
Saturn,
don't think there
so
was
we
one
might do that
nearby.
one, because that one's probably going to be pretty easy.
I don't know. Do you want to go find out?
Let's see, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh no, I didn't. God.
Yeah.
All right, we're looking at the waterfall. I guess.
Yes.
Let's see. And FF7 is like a 30-hour game, so that's like 3 or 4 streams of just that. Because I've beaten that twice now, so I know pretty much how long that game. So I'm not sure I want to stream that immediately, and I bet most of the people y'all follow who stream have been streaming that recently a whole lot too, so I probably don't want to have even more FF7 Remake. So that one I'll probably wait a while for that one too. So, oh, also, I almost forgot Pokemon. So I said like that's how fucked up I've been in the last month or so. I completely forgot that I committed to Pokemon.
In the river. No.
So yeah, Pokemon Crystal.
has been
I
dry
think
for
we'll do
months.
that next stream.
We heard this.
Cause yeah, like
But why does
shit.
water
When was
start
this?
running all of
In late April, I said, okay guys, I'm feeling better.
Made the waterfall.
I'll maybe be able to stream. I'll do Pokemon next time I stream, and then I got worse
It
again.
rains hard. Small waterfalls are
And
made here
good lord,
and
that was probably like a month ago at this point.
there. The river runs into the Lijiang.
So yeah, Pokemon Crystal. I don't know how long that one's gonna be, but that will be a nice, easy thing for me to play through. while I'm recovering here.
Shenfa,
Yes?
I've never played that one before, so that'll be completely new to me.
let's hurry on.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that'll... oh man, that'll be the plan. Oh man, my chest is hurting. Holy crap. Ugh.
We'll be out of the forest soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It won't take long now. Let's move on.
Hit FF15 controls? Yeah, I actually,
I see.
after I played through
Is by the
FF7 Remake,
But my house.
But I need to go.
You saved.
I installed
Please?
Final Fantasy 15 PC version on my gaming laptop. Just for like, hey, maybe now that I played through FF7 Remake, maybe I'll like FF15 more. And I played maybe 20 minutes of FF15 and then just uninstalled it. Like, oh my god, I'll have to give that one some more time before I come back to that one, because I don't know, man. That is not a good game. European rough in the retro gaming world, yeah. Like,
What's the
Europe
matter,
got
Shenfa?
some stuff that
As a child,
that North
I used to
America
play on
didn't.
that
Like,
swing.
you got some, like Terranigma, for example, or Shenmue 2
Every year when the
on
Shin's
Dreamcast.
flowers bloomed.
You got stuff like that, but then
Is this
you also got
in Bailu Village?
50 hertz.
Yes,
50 hertz and PAL.
we're
So-
at the edge of the village.
Really?
It's a wash, I guess. Yep. Yeah, I've heard lots of great things about Terranigma. I never played it. Or really the Blazer trilogy.
This is a bedroom. I shouldn't go in here.
Wait, am I supposed to talk to her? It's been so long, I forgot.
Shenfa,
What's wrong, Joe?
I smell something good.
I'm preparing a big feast, so can you wait a while?
Shenfa,
Yo,
Shit,
can
I'm
you
supposed
wait
to
until
speak.
dinner is ready?
Dang it. Yeah, the quadrilogy of the Blazer games. Don't you forget the very important, greatest game ever made, the Grand Stream Saga. FF9 NTSC and how fast it ran. Oh man. FF15's battle speed is rough.
Shenfa,
Yo,
Like if you're,
good
especially in
morning.
the speed run when you're running from
good
things.
morning.
I'm preparing lunch right now. Can you wait a while?
Like the time from getting into a random battle to loading it to running from the battle and then loading wherever you were, it's like a
this way.
full minute.
Follow me.
All right.
And that's one of the things I appreciated with FF7 Remake is that the transition from regular gameplay to battle, back to regular gameplay to cutscene, going into something else, and then transitioning over to the battle, it's just completely smooth. Like, man, they completely nailed everything about that. Eight, 9 remakes, yeah, that was one of the things that really struck me after finishing FF7 Remake is that FF8 would have been so much more suited to the gameplay changes they did for 7 Remake. Oh god. Worth going through Grand Stream. It's an ARPG, so keep that in mind for your expectations for it. It's real talk. It is below average, let's say, in story, in graphics. I thought the battle system was fun once you got used to it. It has incredible music, and the hot anime cutscenes are great. So I'd say it's worth a play. But temper your expectations as far as the presentation of the game aside from the music. Wait, she disappeared immediately that time. Huh. Oh yeah, it's got plenty of memes too. The most important metric for RPGs. Don't think the graphics are bad? Well, it's... What I would mostly say is the lack of faces aside, it's one of those early like FF7 type games where they didn't have textures for a lot of stuff. So it was mostly flat shaded things, which if you're into that aesthetic, then great.
This is...
But it could have done with some more textures. And the funny part is that they did implement face textures.
That's it.
Like your character has a face in battles, but you never see it. Well, you see it for like a frame sometimes when the camera spins around it. Oh yeah, the music in FF7R is so good. Like I initially didn't like the FF7R music for like the when you're going by like the vending machines and it does like the jazz remixes of songs. Like I didn't like a lot of those, but when the actual like full versions of the songs came on, they were so good. And then they made like 3 or 4 different versions of every single F7 song. Like, man. There's a reason why the soundtrack for FF7 Remake is like 10 discs. Because there's just that much music they made for it.
Look, yo!
Are we gonna get the sub 3 here?
What is that? Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the jazz remixes are good. A lot of them were not though. Especially in like the early game. But like the What? The 2 battle themes, or main battle themes, those were fantastic. Sub 3 boys. All right, I'll take it. I think a good time for this was like 2:35, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever done a full version of this specific version. And this is going to be longer anyways because there's a bunch more cutscenes that you can't skip. So this version's going to be longer anyways. So I actually don't even know what a good time for this specific version would be. Thank you for the GGs. Good night, Airmath. Have a good sleep. Ugh. And then here we are. The true end of the Shenmue series. There's actually there's an article a week or so ago about somebody interviewed Yu Suzuki, the creator of this series, and they're asking him about so what's the plan for Shenmue 4 going to be, and he's coming around to the idea of a much more scaled back linear version of Shenmue 4, which sure, that's fine.
This is
though really my complaints with Shenmue 3 didn't have much to do with the scale of the world. It was more like the story was not great, and then they copy pasted it and made it the same thing for both halves of the game.
The same as the mirror.
I was gonna give money for Shenmue 4, I don't know, 10 cent. You can sell his soul to 10 cent. Make it a mobile game.
From a distant land in the east, from across the sea, he shall appear. He does not know of the strength hidden within him.
Yep. There was a lot to like about Shenmue 3, but there was also a lot to not like about it.
When he is ready, he shall seek me out.
Oh.
And we shall brave together the rocky path. I shall wait. This encounter has been my destiny since ancient times.
What if it was Shenmue 4 was just like, it'll mine Bitcoin in the background, but then also it'll play Shenmue 4 at the same time.
Phoenix shall descend from above.
There you go.
Its wings will
Go ahead and use my idea, Yu Suzuki. They just gotta be upfront about it. Like, okay, 50% of your CPU and your GPU are gonna be mining Bitcoin for Yu Suzuki, and then the rest of it is gonna render the game.
What is that poem?
Deal?
It has been told in the village from long ago.
Ugh. Ugh. Oh man.
Who holds the phoenix?
There's Raids 4? Yeah, didn't that come out recently? I haven't played any of those games. So I don't see the appeal. I'm not like a big beat 'em up guy anyways. I think one of the few ones that I ever liked was the Konami Knights of the Round game and Super Nintendo Ninja Turtles. Those that Turtles in Time. TMNT 4? Those are the only two. And I think Knights of the Round is also on Super Nintendo. And the rest, Not really my kind of genre. Yeah, there wasn't much to Knights of the Round, but something about it I just thought was really cool. Maybe it was the level up. Like, hey, you get a little bit more armor, and then a little bit more armor, and then at the end of the game, you got a full suit of armor. Like that was enough to push it over the top for me, I guess. Yeah, I've tried there's two D&D Capcom arcade games. I played those. I played those in the arcade as well, and just couldn't get into them. Like, those games in particular just felt like credit feeder type games. Like, I'm not gonna pay $50 to beat this game. Oh yeah, AVP is also good. I never played that in arcades. I played that in MAME years ago, but that one's pretty good too. I don't think I could ever figure out how to properly do that though. So I think when I played it in MAME, I just credit fed and used the Predator shoulder cannon to get through the game. That's how you do it. Oh man. They changed the credits for this game too, and made them worse than the Xbox version. Unfortunate. I think it's because they used the European version of the credit sequence, which is shorter, I think. Hey, remember that guy from the run we just did? Neither do I. Debug 4-man. I never noticed that. They don't call them leads, they're foremen. Okay. Master Gorenchi is the motion supervisor. Shoutouts to Ancient. Yeah, and then this is where they cut the credits. When there's a whole nother section in the other version. Oh, maybe they don't. Okay, never mind. Yep, the wild stunt team. Okay, alright, so in summary of my multi-hour story, I won't know if I had the Rona, probably for another week or two. And if I didn't, then I had some other random fucking thing that almost killed me in early April. That wasn't mycoplasma, which is apparently one of the two things that could possibly, and they ruled out the non-corona thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I have antibodies or not. I'm not gonna take the risk anyways. I'm using the mask. I'm washing my hands. Because, oh man, if that was coronavirus that I got, the chances of me surviving that twice, probably not great, considering how sketchy things got in early April. So, boy, do I hope that I have some sort of immunity to that again. Because, holy shit, that was some scary times. So, if I can get it, then anybody can get it. So, so if you have at all any sort of compromised immune system, then just, man, do not fuck around with this thing. It is not the flu. It will fuck you up. And it is, whatever it is, it's still fucking me up. And it remains to be seen what else there is. Because, oh boy. And then on top of all this pandemic shit, so hopefully you all are staying as safe and as well as you can. And fuck, man, like, it could be worse. Like, a third of the people don't have jobs right now. Like, everybody's getting laid off. Shit's closing. It could be worse for me personally. And what a rough time. But we'll get through it with video games. So luckily I am well enough here to play video games on the internet for y'all. To get us through this trying time. But I think the next time that I stream, we're probably gonna do Pokerman, because I need some nice low impact chill streaming, because I could tell in some of the more strenuous battles in FF7 Remake, my heart would get going a little too quick, and I'd have to pause it and take a breather from that game. So add on streaming on top of something like that, that'll probably not end well. So I'm probably gonna have to take it easy as far as that goes. For how long, I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. So I don't know when I'm gonna stream next. I'll have to see how I'm feeling in the next day or so. I can already tell I'm gonna have problems tonight because I've already got chest pains coming on right now, like in my sternum. I can tell from having to talk and cough, because I've been trying to keep my talking to a minimum in the last 2 months, month and a half. Yeah, I can tell having to talk this much is not doing wonders for my windpipe. So I don't know, but we'll figure it out. I'll keep y'all updated and posted on the Discord when the next stream is going to happen. Go ahead and vote for what my starter will be in Pokerman Crystal, if you care what starter it's going to be. I haven't even looked at the poll, so I have no idea. I've also never played that game, so I have no idea which one to pick. And don't worry about like, oh man, I'm gonna pick the really difficult starter for Purry, they're all going to be difficult for me, so so go ahead and pick the hardest one to play the game with. It's going to be rough regardless. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are. Stay safe out there. And I guess the good news out of this is that I did not die. I'm going to continue streaming bad games for you on the internet. Take care. See you next time. Bye.